Alright, so I just watched Midnight Texas. That's on NBC. It's based on Charlaine Harris, who wrote True Blood. I watched most of that. Um, as far as TV shows goes on basic cable, it's totally tame. It's not as bloody as True Blood, and so it starts off with this dude who's a medium, and he's a fortune teller, and I don't know, like he moves to Texas. It's called Midnight Texas, and he gets there, and there's all these like weird people. It reminds me a lot of the other show on NBC. It's called Grimm, but hey, I mean, what you do? I mean, it's regular basic cable, so they're not gonna be like ripping people's heads off and shooting people in the head and like people screwing. It's a pretty tame TV show. Um, there's some cool characters. There's a guy that's a vampire. There's some blonde chick. She's like a badass. There's a dude with angel wings. There's the Reverend guy, and it remind me of like this other show that's on like the Sci-Fi Network. It's called Winona Earp. A little bit of Preacher. A little bit of True Blood, but that's to be expected because it's the same writer. Um, would I go back to this show? I don't know. I don't know because like sometimes like you like you sh- you need to give a show like 3 times, to give it a good chance. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'd go back to this show. I mean, look, I like horror shows. I like, but sometimes when they're like too like supernatural and like with the witch and stuff, it feels like a chick flick. And if there's not enough like gore or like scares, that's not my kind of horror. You know, I mean, I'm a little biased because I'm a dude, but basically, there's like I like the main guy. Like he's a decent like character. He seems like a likable guy. The main guy. I mean, he's like a psychic. He's like a gypsy. So I mean, obviously, if you like the lead guy, you're gonna go back and watch the show. And obviously, if you like vampire stuff and like he eventually like joins up with the police. That's another thing. Like if you got like a supernatural power, like you get to go on to the police and solve crimes, even if never went to the police academy. Or, it's kind of like that TV show iZombie, where like she could eat people's brains and like she knows what happened. So like he's a psychic, so he doesn't need to eat people's brains. But obviously, uh, like I was saying, if you got powers, I don't know. I mean, when you get into the whole thing where you could be a cop or you could be like the dudes from Supernatural where you just hunt monsters. Uh, I didn't get that. I didn't get too much of a supernatural feel from the show, other than the entities that the ghosts and all that. But he's not hunting. They're basically just people trying. It's like if you watch True Blood, there was just like a bunch of weirdos living in a place, and it's like people with powers and people with powers in a soap opera. Like, like I mean that's when you start to know that it's kind of aimed towards like people who like Charlene Harris and her True Blood stuff, and you got these dramatic storylines, and then the red herring or the MacGuffin is like the murder in town, which basically is the hook for people to come back. Oh, did they solve the murder yet? No, no, but you don't care. You just want to see like who's shacking it up with who, and that's the kind of show this is. This isn't, when the show's like revealed that they're more of a drama show surrounded by like a supernatural setting, then I start to head out. Like I want a show based like the X-Files. Like that show was, they actually solved stuff. They actually went and did stuff. You know what I mean? Like there was like the whole Mulder and Scully thing. That was like just like hinted in there. And eventually they, screwed in the last episode. They made people wait to the last episode. But these shows, people are hooking up constantly, and that's when you know it's a chick show. And that's when people like kind of like, these NBC shows, they can't be like too like crazy. You know what I mean? They can't be crazy. They can't be like Showtime. I want horror. I want like a horror show. Like I don't want a Serbian film or Human Centipede, crazy, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I do want like something, like something that's gonna like scare the shit out of me. And I guess obviously it's not gonna be this show. Like I said, it's more of like a young adult book that you would go to the library and rent it and borrow it and read it and kind of watch it for the characters, not for the scares, or even like one of those boring like paranormal shows where they're just like going around and filming in the dark, and obviously, there's no such thing as ghosts, so like they're just like, oh, I felt something, so a bunch of hocus pocus, horse shit that people buy into. I mean, I try not to be an atheist, but like everyone's an atheist these days, so obviously, but would I go back to this show? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, probably not. Like, it's just like grim, just like timeless, just like everything this channel puts on. It's just so PG-13 at the most. Look, they're trying to be crazy. They're like, this is, we're taking it to the limit. No, you're not. But honestly, like, I could watch a really horrible horror movie, like, a slasher where, like, people hate those movies, but I love them. But, I review horror movies, and I just check out once in a while to see, like, a show that might stick out, hopefully. And this one didn't stick out for me. But let me know what you thought of the show, because I do reviews of like horror related shows, and I check them out because I like to give everything a chance. Hopefully people like aren't too harsh if they liked it. I mean, there's stuff to like this show. I mean, honestly, I'm okay if you're not okay with me not liking the show, but I know what the demographics of the show was, and it's not a dude like me. So on like an ABC scale, I would give it maybe like a C plus, because like I said, there's some cool characters that people are gonna like invest in. They're gonna be like, okay, I want to watch it for the main character who's kind of cool, and the vampire dude who's kind of cool. There's gonna be a lot of characters in this show, but I'm just not gonna come back to it because, honestly, like when you watch a TV show, what do you want? Like what do you want? Because I already just told you what I want, but obviously a show on basic cable can't offer what I'm asking for because it's too extreme. I'm not trying to like brag, like oh yeah, like I want blood, and I roll in blood pits, and runes of pentagrams and upside down crosses, But yeah, speaking of that, I am looking forward to The Exorcist coming back. I didn't think that was going to get a second season. That show was. I'm looking forward to The Exorcist comeback. So that was crazy, and that's on Fox. But Fox, they tend to. I've seen Fox. They tend to like you know, push the envelope more than, and ABC, who's ran by Disney, and NBC, who's stuck in the 1950s. So obviously, and CBS, who's stuck in the Dark Ages. But I mean, Supernatural, this show, Grimm, um, all these shows placate to like what True Blood eventually became, and that was a rated R show for chicks. And speaking of True Blood, that the guy that played Lafayette died. Uh, that was a bummer. He was like 39. Like the fuck, But yeah, that was sad. Um, but the True Blood, I got to like season 3 or 4, and it just went downhill. And this show, like, I don't want to. I don't want to get invested and then have that Charlaine Harris, third season plummets happen to me again. Because honestly, like, that's what shows do to me. Like, they're good, they're awesome for at least 2 seasons, and then by the third season, you're like, why am I fucking watching this? So like, anyways, I mean, let me know what you thought of the show, and ultimately, like, it was like, it just wasn't there. You know what I mean? It just wasn't there. Like, people, like, when they ask for a horror show, that's not what I ask for. Like, I want like a Friday the 13th show. I want like a Nightmare on Elm Street show, where each week we get new people, and everyone, kind of gets killed off. But obviously, I don't think they would do that. But I mean, it's just the way it is. Like, you can't, on NBC, you can't be too bloody. You can't have too much like fucking or killing or just like, it can't be like a total satanic show. Like The Witch. The movie The Witch, the one with Anna Taylor-Joy. Like something like that. I would like to see that like weekly. I would like to see a weekly show of that. That would, but maybe I never watched that show, Salem. I should check that out. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the show, because basically, I could just put on wrestling. I was getting sick of wrestling because I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking watch wrestling because it's getting really boring. Like, I hate all the fucking wrestlers. But with that said, thanks for watching, and subscribe, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time, because this week I'm reviewing all the Sharknadoes, and I review horror movies. Alright, peace out.